3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Now, there's this show on TV or the internet, or TV and the internet. It's called Drunk History. That's where these famous people get drunk and tell a story about, or tell different stories about stuff that's happened in history. And then they have like these famous people, like Jack Black, reenact this stuff. But we can't afford anybody to reenact stuff, so I'm just going to tell you these basic stories in a similar manner, but they're going to be fairy tales. So I'm going to tell you a fairy tale while I'm drunk. And to prove that it's not pre-scripted, I'm going to like just draw from this bag.
Which is a...
It's a dog shit bag. There's no dog shit in it.
Well, no, but we go on a lot of walks.
And
so
whatever I draw out, God, could we have written these any smaller? Whatever I draw out,
oh, I hate that.
The Rock. No, The Rock. Oh, The Rundown, starring The Rock. That's not even a fucking fairy tale. Okay, hold on. Hansel and Gretel.
Can we, like,
So I'm going to tell the story. I'm going to tell the story about Hansel and Gretel from the Grimm's fairy tales. And here's how it goes. Hansel and Gretel lived in the woods with their dad and their stepmom. Their stepmom's like a total bitch. And they're poor. I mean, they have nothing. They have no food, no money, no DVD player, nothing. And the stepmom tells the stepdad, "Why don't we take the kids out into the woods and then lose them, and then we'll have plenty to eat and everything." And the dad, for some reason, although reluctantly, agrees. She's probably like good in the sack or something, I don't know. So now Hansel overhears the stepmom's plan, so he grabs like a bag of rocks, pebbles, and he makes a little trail when they're walking through the woods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So him and his sister, so they can find their way back home.
No, him.
All right.
He.
Anyway,
No, he.
so anyway, the mom and dad disappear in the woods, but Hansel's like, "Hey, Gretel, don't worry. We'll follow the pebbles back home," and they do. So the mom and dad get back home, and the stepmom's like, "Oh yeah, we got rid of our kids. Now we have all this food to ourselves." And then boom, the kids are there going, "Hey, we must have got separated in the woods, but we're back home." And then the stepmom's like, "Let's try it again, but this time I'll make sure that little bastard Hansel doesn't have any pebbles." Now the dad, who's still reluctant about sending the kids off, he gives them a loaf of bread so they'll have something to eat while they're in the woods. Well, Hansel, he's a smart motherfucker, right? Right. So he starts breaking off crumbs of bread so they can follow the bread back home. But the birds or the rabbits or the chipmunks or whatever in the woods eat the bread, so they can't find their way back home. So they're fucked, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so they're walking. Hansel and Gretel are walking around the woods, and they come across this house that is made of gingerbread and candy and all this stuff. And so they start eating the house. Cause man, I mean, by now these kids are freaking starving. And this little old lady who lives in the house, she opens the door and says, "Hey kids, don't eat my house, man. Come in. I got all kinds of food. You come inside and eat this shit." And they're like, "Yeah." Oh, by the way, if any kids are watching this, don't ever go in anybody's house to eat some food. Anyway, so this little old lady is like, feeding these kids, but unbeknownst to them, she's fattening them up. You know why? Because this little old lady is not really a little old lady, she's a witch. And she likes to eat little kids. So she's fattening them up for a couple of days. They're getting fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter. And then, hold on. Incinerator.
What proof is that? Can we just like zoom in on the proof?
No,
Can you please show me the proof?
you can try, but I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
have to like tilt the bottle this way.
That's not important.
It's not.
That's not important.
You're right.
Anyway, Hansel starts getting like fat as a motherfucker. And the witch fires up her oven. The kids still don't know she's a witch. They think she's just a nice old lady who's feeding them.
I love old ladies.
And for some reason, instead of, I can't remember. Anyway, she tells Gretel, she says, Gretel, tell Hansel to get in this pot in my oven. But Gretel's like caught onto her scheme for some reason, I think. I might be wrong, I don't know. Anyway, the witch says, Gretel, tell Hansel to get in this pot. And Gretel's like, I don't know what the fuck you mean, man. Show me what you mean. So the witch climbs in. The witch is obviously stupid. The witch, God damn, that's good. The witch climbs in to the pot in the oven and says, make your brother do this. And Gretel runs over. She slams the door to the fucking oven, man. And the witch is like all cooked and boiled because she can't get out of the oven, even though she's a witch. I figured she would just go, oh, that's a genie. Oh, anyway, so the witch is all cooked and shit. So, and the kids find these vases of jewels that are worth like it's like money. And they grab all these jewels, these vases of jewels, and they go back and then miraculously, without the help of fucking breadcrumbs, hold on. Without the help of breadcrumbs, they find their way back to the house. And when they get back to the house, the dad's like shitting his pants because, oh my goddamn, my kids are back. Yay. And while they were gone, the stepmom died. I don't know, cirrhosis of the liver or something, which is probably the same way I'm gonna go. Anyway, so, and they're like, Dad, hey, we're home, and we have all these jewels from this witch who tried to fatten us up and cook us. And even though you let the stepmom try to kill us and abandon us, well, now we're rich, and I guess after that they lived happily. I'd be pissed at the father for doing that. Anyway, it sounds like a Lifetime movie. I don't know. But anyway, I guess they lived happily ever after.